Oh god, I want more subscribers. Subscribers. Okay, so am I live? Yeah, alright, so I'm live. Hello. My mic is working, so it's time to start, I guess. Wait, let me. Okay, so we're gonna start with our first game. Am I live? Okay, so I'm gonna continue, right? Okay, so we're gonna continue with our first game as black, where e4 we respond with the French, e6, idea is to strike the center with e5, and after e take we also take it. Knight to c3, we simply develop our knight and take out the bishop, creating pins. Along with bishop e2, we take out the knight, attacking this. So we have two attackers for one knight. He developed the bishop to d2. We respond with knight take on the bishop. You take it back from the queen, and then we castle, because castling is very important and all. So just maintaining the king safety. Now we'll move this bishop backwards. First of all, c6 for defending this pawn. Then we can play bishop e6. So king to b1 was the move played. We respond with queen b6. The idea is to sacrifice the bishop. He respond with king e1. So it's like he moved the king from c, b, and a. Anyways, knight can come out. Else I'll find bishop to a5 even more effective and better, because that's going to attack this pawn. Anyways, and also we can like play knight e7 now, focusing on knight f6 followed by knight e4 and all. Okay, what will happen is we can simply just try to connect the rooks and then push the pawn forward. Now if I play knight a6 instead, the problem is I cannot push the pawn forward, so that's why I just develop this like this. Here is pawn with x3. The idea is to push, we can simply protect. That's not a very difficult choice for us. We'll take out our bishop backwards. He play knight here. Now we can just allow him to take it, right? There is no problem in that. We can also take back from this and open up this. So I would say let's take the knight and let him take it. No, he is not capturing. So he is pawn with f4. That's a very good opportunity for us. I can move the knight. If he trade, then bishop take. Otherwise, he'll protect the queen over here. Well, if I play knight and he moves over here, then knight here is a fork, winning the queen or the rook. Okay, so with this move, if we respond here, so I think I must cancel this. I'll play bishop to e4. I'll just protect my bishop. Now that's upon him, he'll take or not. Otherwise, he'll simply protect his rook. He is pushing the pawn forward, attacking this. So I can take it now. He take it. I move my bishop backwards. Otherwise, where can I move this? So I should take this. If I take, he take it, I protect my bishop. Then he take another pawn. My king side is going to be weak. Take, take, bishop back. If we respond with knight take, pawn take. Anyway, so let's just take the rook. Like we are always having that advantage, so let's go with that. Rook take on the bishop or pawn take on knight? Upon him, what he must choose. Okay, he has two options, capturing the knight or the bishop. That's upon him, what he must take and all. If he is going to take it, means he has enough clarity that he is destroying my king's position. Okay, that's it. Anyways, in my opinion also, capturing this seems to be the best move. Okay, so we take it, protecting the bishop. Now knight take, no, pawn take it. So we'll take it back from the king. Rook comes, giving check. I take the bishop, but then he'll push. And if I protect, so I just move king h8. He creates some threats and he pushed the pawn forward. Queen can come here and follow up with a checkmate. So what we can do is, how can we block this? First of all, I'll move the bishop h2, attacking this rook. He moved the rook to g2. Bishop backwards, queen here. Okay, so bishop d6. I think this is a mistake. f6. So rook g8 and then h5. That's the mate. Okay, so we are playing as white. e4, the king's pawn opening with knight f3 and the bishop to c4. d3, x6. We're gonna go on with castling, maintaining the king safety and taking out the knight to c3 along with knight to d5. Black gonna take, no. So we play h3, blocking the bishop coming out and all. a6, we go with a4, blocking b5. So knight to a5 was the move played. We're gonna protect our bishop and then surprise our opponent. Anyway, so he captured it. We take it back from the bishop. He plays c6. Okay, so black gonna think for the correct move. As c6 can be played. Bishop e6. So we can simply trade. Of course, that's not a big deal for us. And then play c3. The idea is to attack further, followed by taking the knight backwards. We push the pawn even forward. After we take, we also take and attack this. And then now we play queen b3 for attacking the pawn, the weak pawns. Okay, so bishop take on this, rook take, queen take on e6, and then taking the rook backwards, and then sacrificing. So we just sacrifice our bishop. Rook take on this, we just go on with this, and then queen take on x6, queen g5, queen h5 check. Oh, the rook is blocking. Queen g4 check. King e2. It's like I'm giving black options. Capturing this was not at all the move. Attacking. queen h5, rook here, knight g7, rook cannot take, he moved the king here, man, very easy. And then this, no, knight can come, the checkmate is not coming, man. King here, I move queen, he take the knight, and then knight f5, he will sacrifice. No. Queen trapped. Okay. Anyway, so we are playing as black. b4, e5, bishop e2, then knight to c6, but he pushed. So we capture, take out the knight, like protecting this threat, and then d6, bishop e2, we're gonna take out the knight, the bishop, and castle. Okay. So the entire role of the bishop is that it is not allowing d4 and all. Bishop e2 was played. We will respond with the move e5, attacking this. The pawn take. We continue with knight take. Okay, bishop take on this. And then we move the bishop backwards. a3, a5. Knight g4. Bishop e6. Knight f6. Okay, so knight b5. We move the knight backwards. We can even push this, attack the knight and all. Okay, so white go on with queen c2. We play c6. Knight take on the bishop, and then queen take on this. He respond with f4. So I can continue with bishop to f5 and attack the queen, which is protected by the knight. Now white to play. White responds with queen c1, where we rook to e8, else knight to e5, moving the knight here. That is knight to b4. Okay, so knight to f5 also. Now bishop c4, focusing on attacking this. We'll move. Okay. Rook to d8. E take. Pawn take. So queen g6. The idea is to take the pawn and deliver mate. So king x2 was played, where b5 take, bishop take, and then I play rook here. Anyway, so queen d6 check. You can even play. Okay, move the king backwards. So queen d7, planning to attack this and protecting the pawn, so that I can move the knight there and all. Knight e5. Mm, Queen e7. Still, that's going to be a pin. Okay, so we respond with rook take on d5. Rook to c5. We'll take the rook and take this pawn also. Mm. Queen d5. Bishop take on x3 will be one of the lines which we can play. So that's why. Otherwise, bishop take, pawn take. Queen cannot take, otherwise he'll lose the knight. And if we try to protect, that's even possible. If we try to protect, I'll sacrifice. I also have rook take on this for protecting the pawn. So yes, we are full of options. We can go on with any of them. So knight to c4, bishop take on x3, queen attacking this. Bishop e6, opening the diagonal, knight here, queen h5 check. Along with rook here, rook to d8. Queen g5. Hmm. King f2. Uh, h5, h4, queen check. That's the plan. Rook c2. So we're gonna play x4 so that we can play queen g3. Welcome Vicky Meena to my channel. If you want to challenge me, you can send me challenges. Queen a5. The idea is to attack the knight. Rook to b2. Okay. Rook to d1. Checkmate. So the checkmate is coming. He responded with queen b4. We move the queen g5, focusing on the checkmate. So king moves. We take the rook backwards. Queen take on the pawn will be an option. Queen take on c2. And white resigns. So we are playing another game. If you want to miss any challenges. Anyway, so we respond with e4, e5, knight f3. Now he can play knight c6. We take out the bishop, b5. The Raya Lopez opening. He respond with a6. The Morphy defense. Players take the bishop backwards. So that's what we are doing. We just protect our pieces and then strike the center. Such that if we take the knight take and attack the pawn. He respond with b5. Now with this we simply move the bishop backwards and we attack this. Our main intention is to capture this. After the take, now if I respond with queen take, he can go on with c5 and can continue his game. Otherwise, like over here, queen take, c5, then queen here, bishop e6, queen check, bishop back. Okay, so we continue queen take d4, c5, queen here, attacking the rook, and the checkmate. Bishop e6, queen c6 check, bishop has to move backwards. Alright, he's thinking. Now if I play this, c5 can also be played. Even here also, c4 was okay. I did not observe that. Oh, queen take on c5 is not possible, man. Mouse slip. Anyways, so we are playing as black. Knight f6, e6, East Indian defense with d5 because we are focusing on the east direction. That's why. Now we take out bishop to e7, castle, capture this pawn, attack the bishop, and play c5, striking the center. He does not take, we take, and then play a6 followed by b5, bishop e7, opening the diagonal. Now he responds with rook e1, we play x6, attacking the bishop, e take, and we respond with knight take. He go with knight e4. We create some trace, and then queen d5, winning the pawn. So queen take a2, and we win the pawn. Queen to d2 was played. Idea is to take the pawn and all. We will simply respond with king h8, and all his plans are going to be failed. We can even go with f5 and all. Now, if I move this knight jump, the special power of knight. Anyways, we play queen d5, blocking the knight to come here, and then bishop f6, attacking this. So rook to c7. Bishop g5, attacking the queen. Okay, Meena, if you want to challenge me, you can send me the challenges. Search for my chess.com ID, that's it. Rook take on f7, rook take, then bishop take queen. Rook take this, queen take, e take, pawn take, and then rook take. So we continue rook d8, attacking the pawn, captures this, move the rook to a4, because protection is very important. Play rook to a2, push a5, and take the pawn. So a4, play a3, a2, b4, b3, take the rook back, and then we're gonna promote. Now after rook take, no, okay, he resigns. So we respond with the French along with e5, c5, knight c6, bishop e7. We're gonna trade and then play c4. And Passant blocking all his ways along with a6. Uh, hmm. Knight h6. Okay. So bishop check. Trade. Knight f5 and castling. Okay, knight h6. Uh, Queen b6 check. Rook to d8. Hmm. And we play d4. Queen b4. Okay. If I take, then knight take. So queen c3. If we take, pawn take, attack the knight. Yes, Vicky Mina, I will accept your challenge. You will just send me the challenge. That's it. Anyways, queen c3. Hmm. Okay, so he is thinking for the move. And if you are enjoying the stream, you will like live stream. Okay, so it is busy thinking for the correct move. 10 minutes unrated. Try to add some increment to it. Okay, you can play 10 plus 5. I just need increment. So queen knight e1. He sacrificed the rook. No problem. Maybe he forgot about that. Anyways, so we go with e4, e5, knight f3, attack this, followed by bishop c4, knight f6, we castle, knight take on e4, rook e1, d5, d3, rook take on e4, knight take e5. If we take the pawn, knight take check, and then we continue. So knight take e5, rook take on e5 check, bishop e7, okay, bishop e6. So we respond with pawn take, such that we can push it forward, play knight c3, take out the bishop, and continue. Now we'll move the rook backwards to e1, simply protecting it. That's our plan. Queen x4, focusing on the checkmate. Uh, h3. So he responds with long castling. Knight to c3. Hmm. Knight e4. Mate variation. Bishop. He can move bishop here. This. Knight is protecting the mate. Hmm. Okay, bishop check. King moves to g1 and queen check, king here. F5. So knight g3, bishop take, pawn take, queen take. That's what we wanted and all. So black responds with queen take g3, where we move the queen to e2. Now we can just try to protect our checks and trade the queens and continue. So he moved the rook to e8, where we respond with queen f2. Minor piece up, but we are lacking 3 pawns. So you can say that we are having minor piece for 3 pawns. Anyways, so we're gonna move the king. Like we have to protect from the checks and all. Hmm. Now I can expect some trades from black and side. Okay, so queen x3, rook take on e8, then bishop coming out to f4, and then rook to c1, capturing this. That's it. Okay, let's see what it responds. And if you're enjoying the stream, you may like to live stream. Rook to e4, rook c1, queen keeper check, uh, queen, queen take. So bishop comes to g3, e push, we continue with rook takes c7, mm. The rook sacrifice, king take, queen c5 check, queen d6, king take, and that's the mate. Mm. Brilliant rook sacrifice. And it's king c8. So queen c5 once again, king there. Now queen d5, winning the rook. If we take, then we also take it. The position will not be equal then. Queen c5, if we move like this, still queen d5 once again, queen there, king here. Okay. So that was a draw. Now we have. Okay. So if you want to send me the challenges, any challenges? If you want to miss any challenges now. No challenges? Okay, so we continue. Now we'll be playing as white. We respond with d4. Black to play. Black responds with e6. We play e4. The French and take the pawn. Along with c4. Knight to c3. Further attacking. Hmm. Black responds with bishop e6. We move the knight to f3. Followed by knight g5. Attacking the bishop. And we capture the pawn. That is c take e5. After the response with knight take d5, we continue with the move queen to c2, attacking this, basically looking forward for the checkmate. He responds with the move x6. Then we go on with taking, and after the take, we can move to d3. That's it. So that was the basic plan structure, which you can continue and play. Anyways, so black to play, black is thinking for the what he must play on. He is thinking for that correct move. And if you are enjoying the stream, you will like the live stream. So knight take on c3. We're gonna go with queen take on x7. That's the checkmate. I don't know what was he thinking about that. Anyways, so we're gonna go with another game, and we are playing as white. d4. Now he responds with g6. We play e4, take the central control, take out the knight. c3, knight to c3, along with okay bishop e3, bishop e2, queen d2, play 3 b4 rook b1. Okay. He played e5. So that's a good opportunity. We respond with e5. Knight comes to c5. Now we go with queen c2. Then we play b4. We move the knight back. So we can expect a5. a5 from black inside. a5. So I can take and continue. Pawn take and knight take this. Now he move rook e8. We take. No, he take this. Queen take on e2. Rook e8. We continue with f4, protecting a knight. If I protect my knight, what will happen is, wait, if I protect my knight, then knight take on this. After knight take, he'll play f5. So that's why. Okay, let's go with knight h5. I'll go with castling without wasting time. Simply protecting my king. King safety is important and all. So bishop take, pawn take, rook take, and here comes the trade. Now he responded with rook take on e5. We'll play queen to f2. Attack this and this. He respond with queen e7, the solution of this position, where we continue with g4, attacking the knight. The knight goes here, then queen take this. The knight goes backwards, and that's what he must play. Now, over here, what we can do is playing h4, then pushing it forward. Till time he can try h5 now. x5, which is going to be supported by the knight. Rook f8, we just push g5. So knight to x5 was played. Knight h5 was played. We moved the rook, protect the pawn. We move queen to e7. We move queen g2, blocking the checks and all. Black to play, where black is thinking for the correct move. So c6, pawn take. You take with the pawn and all. So knight a4, attacking the pawn. Welcome, Mapok, to my channel. So c take e5, pawn take on this, queen take on the knight. King x2. Okay, so black play rook to e8. We continue with queen f3, attacking this. Welcome Santu to my channel. Rook to f8. We'll play rook f2, rook f1, followed by attacking this. Rook to f1. Rook to e, rook take on e4. Uh, Chat, please write in English. King e1, rook there, rook there. So rook check. Oh, I cannot move this. Pin. So king g2, rook take. King g2. King h3, rook check. Here. Alright, so we continue with another game, and I hope I'll be playing as black. Okay, so e4, I'll play e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, c3. So against this opening, you can continue with knight f6. Let him play this. This is the Greco attack. Okay, how to play against the Greco attack? What you can do is allow your opponent to play this. If he played a3, you may simply play x6, block the bishop coming, continue with a5, blocking this, and then castle. You can even play d6, because d6 is very important. Okay, d6 you will block knight take on e5, and then, okay, he's playing d4. Now, you can move the bishop back and allow him to take. Else, I would say let's take it, because this will increase the attack to center. Now you will play bishop e4 attacking this. If we try to move the knight in between, then you can castle and then play rook e8 and then knight take on e4. This will be the plan. Rook e8, then knight take on this. So bishop f4, we play rook e8, bishop take, pawn take, knight take. So e5, we'll take. So we take the pawn, white to play. Let's see what white responds. D take on e5. So knight coming to h5 for attacking the bishop. E take. We also take it. Bishop d2. Bishop g4. Knight is defending it, so I'm just attacking the defender. Okay. a3. I'll continue with moving my bishop backwards to c5. Because protection of our pieces is also very important. Bishop e3. Now trades. Rook take it. Bishop take on the knight. If the rook take, then knight take on this. So pawn take it. Now we'll continue with knight to f4. The idea is to block the king from coming, and then playing the rook to e8. Forwardly, like we can attack on the e5 pawn and all. That's it. Rook e8. Rook e7. Double up and attack this. Rook e7. Pawn take on e6. Bishop take, knight take, rook take. Rook f7. Okay, so king g2. Uh, rook to f8. Now we can attack this pawn and continue. So rook take on f3, e take it, rook take it. Anyways, rook take on this, rook take on f8, knight take on c7. Now rook to f6. Rook to e8. We play king h7. So rook e6. We're gonna take. Continue with d5. Along with b4. Pawn take, the knight take. Now he can do whatever he want. Whatever he wanna do now. Let's see. Okay, 20 seconds is remaining for white. Like very less time remaining. So just push the pawns forward. King g6, he is blocking the check. Anyway, so I gave knight c6, knight b4. So king c4. I move the knight to c6, and then I have to give the pawn. Anyways, knight e5, the king takes this, then give a check and win this pawn. The position is getting equal still. Means none of us is having better advantage and all. Anyways, so now we are getting a lot of advantage. Knight here, just hoping to get that, which we are not getting that easily. So knight f6, king h5, knight to d5, king g6, h5, knight sacrifice. Okay, so knight e4, knight f4, attacking this. King comes, we play for check. King comes here, and then we're gonna move king to f6. Knight goes back. So knight e6, because our pawn needs protection. We play king f5. Protection is very important, man. Anyways, knight check, winning this. So knight check, the knight is already here. Now I take, knight take, pawn push, knight there, pawn push, knight here, pawn push. Okay, so I'll continue. Knight take on h3, e take, we play g4, push it further, move the king, and then play h3, followed by h2. Promotion to the queen, queen h5 check, queen h8, and we win the knight. Queen b6, queen c5, queen d4. The idea of limiting the squares. Now he just play king here. Hmm. So that's the checkmate. Alright. So we'll have another one and we are playing as black. D4, we take out the knight, the Indian king. Now this is the East Indian. We'll play bishop e7 this time. And then we'll go with castling. Then strike into center. Okay, he play e4. So we continue with d6. Hmm. I can play c5 then. e5. So we'll take it, pawn take it. We protect the knight instead of trading the queens. Okay, because we need the queen to protect the bishop. That's why. Okay, now if we try this, then queen take will be an option for us, which we can use to move the queen here, attacking the pawn and all. Okay, now we'll play knight c6. Idea is to attack the pawn, followed by queen c5, further attacking this. Now b6 and bishop b7 is also a very good option available to us. Anyways, so let's see what white goes to play in this position. Queen to e2. So we're gonna play b6 followed by bishop e7 to complete our development. Anyway, so let's see what white responds with. And if you are enjoying the stream, you will like live stream. So queen e4, we're gonna play bishop e7, bishop e3, focusing on the checkmate. We'll continue with the g6, blocking the checkmate. We can continue with knight b4, sacrificing the bishop. Else knight to c5 attack this and capture the bishop in the next move. Very easy hand. Okay, queen f4. The idea is to move the queen here, play the knight to g5, and deliver the mate. So what we can do is uh, moving the king h7. Otherwise, he is going to move this, then take the knight here. If we move this, the knight take on this is not at all helpful. Anyways, so what we may do is play knight to b4 and attack this. If we try this, he will lose the bishop and all. So first of all, he protect and oh, the poke is also coming. So we quickly trade. After the take, we play knight c5, just opening up our development, followed by knight check, attacking this pawn. And we're gonna take some rest. Okay. So it's simple for us to develop our rooks. So we play rook to d8 and just gonna try to develop our pieces and all. He play rook to d1. My mind says knight take on this. But if the rook take it, so the best ever response can be queen c5. But then he is going to like sacrifice and continue. Rook take, I mean knight take. Okay, so we'll play queen c5. Idea is if they take, knight take, basically the checkmate is going to be a possibility for us. He play a3 trying to attack the knight. Hmm. So queen take this, queen take it. No, the knight is protecting the rook. Hmm. Okay, knight f4, but he can still take it and get the queen. Knight take on c3. Rook d1 check. Like, he could easily move the knight back. Anyways, so at just our end, we made a mistake and lost the rook. Okay, so every time we continue with another game. Now we are playing as black. We okay e4. We're gonna play the Sicilian. Okay, let's continue with e5 normally. We're gonna play knight f3 or knight c3. That's upon him. I would say c3. Knight f3 and c3. The Ponchiani opening. We'll try this opening in this next game. Ponchiani opening. Anyways, so white is thinking for the move. Maybe he is praying whether he must get the win over here or not. Okay, so let's see what he responds with. Hmm. He is sleeping. Okay, so finally the knight comes out. We're gonna play knight to c6. He take out the bishop to b5. The royal loop is opening. We'll play knight f6 and move the bishop c5, a6, castle. That's it. Our idea is to just develop our pieces followed by d6 and castle. Okay. Now knight a4 trying to attack this bishop. We'll move knight d4. Idea is to attack the bishop and all. So if we choose to trade, then we take it from the bishop. Else is his choice. He plays c3. We move bishop backwards and open up the rook file followed by c6 and all. Anyways, so we respond with c6 attacking the bishop. Bishop c4, d5. After we take it back and attack the bishop. So he can move the bishop backwards. He moved this back and we play e4. If we take, then knight take. No. So we're gonna continue with bishop f5, attacking this diagonal, and he played e4. Bishop e7, bishop e5. We are attacking this rook, and then playing bishop here. Okay, so bishop c6, just protecting all the pieces, along with x6, attacking the knight and creating threats. Okay, so he moved the bishop backwards. We may simply move the queen to d6. He'll play bishop there as one of the possible moves, trying to attack the queen, where we can move the queen to e6 and continue attacking. So bishop e5. Okay, his plan is to attack this knight. We can simply move backwards and attack. Now he moved the bishop back. Then we play 5 and on. Rook take on e4, sacrificing the rook. What if I play f6? The bishop goes back and then queen will take the rook. So we'll just chop in this rook. Hmm. Now once again, our opponent sleeping. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna play f4. We may simply eliminate the bishop. After pawn take it, queen to f5. Idea for attacking this, followed by queen f2 check, and then h5, the rook trap. Okay, rook can come here. Rook can move here, rook can move here. So rook is having two squares where it can jump and protect itself. Okay, so let's see what white responds. White having 15 seconds on the clock. He responds with rook g5. So, rook here, I mean queen here, rook take. And if I simply offer trades, he will simply accept. And so I just play h4, protecting my pawn. He moved the bishop c2. So we play rook to f7 without wasting time. Pawn can be pushed forward, attacking this, the most vulnerable attack. Anyways, but he is not aware for that. Now this is not at all a checkmate. Knight f8. I'm just blocking this. e6. Knight take. Oh, so you can now win this. My knight was better here. Anyways. So queen take on the bishop. Position is equal now. Like we were minor piece up earlier, but now the position gets to be equal. So he double up, we just capture the pawns. Ah, taking the rook. Bishop take on rook. Rook take. We move king a7. Queen take on a3. Blunder. Okay, so I resign this game. Alright, so if you want, you may send me the challenges. All the challenges are allowed.